Next on the show, we're happy to welcome back from the United Way of Jackson County, Ken Toll, and communications consultant Rick Chambers. Hi, Rick. How are you?
Nice to see you. Hi,
Ken. Welcome back.
Thank you.
And Ken, thanks for filling in for me last month here. How'd it go?
It was my pleasure. I think it went pretty well. I wasn't watching, obviously, but you make it look easy. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of stress, but your staff was great, and I had a ball. So whatever you hear from your viewers, I had a ball.
Great.
Thanks.
No, people enjoyed having you fill in for me. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
A few minutes ago, Chris Giannetti was here, who's been working with you on energizing education, and she hinted that you might have an update on the program today.
We do have an update. We have been challenged to take the program county-wide and try to put it in every school in the county. And we haven't talked to all the schools about that, but several have already said, we want this program, we see the results. So we think that it is a possible goal that we could actually have mentors in every single school helping all those kids who are struggling learn to read by the 4th grade. So to kick that off, we need to do some fundraising, some more aggressive fundraising, because it's not a free program. And as we talked about what we could do to start that, our good friend Rick Chambers came up with an idea to sort of kickstart that campaign and do a special event around it. So we're here to talk about that today.
Neat. And seeing as though you're a communications consultant, maybe you can help Ken and Betty Toll communicate, because this morning they were both at Jackson Coffee Company and they didn't know each other was there.
They didn't know? Well, that may be deeper than a communication issue.
We were working. Come on, we were focused.
Very good.
Thanks, Bart.
I think one was upstairs and one was downstairs.
All right. Well, excusable.
So how are you? What's your unique idea that you're bringing?
So, little background when I'm not working, I'm working, and that is as a writer for a web-based series called Star Trek New Voyages. It's the ongoing adventures of the Starship Enterprise crew.
They just keep going and going.
They just keep going and going, yes. And it was actually a series created back in 2003 by James Hawley, who's an entertainer, who wanted to sort of continue that original 1960 series, but do it in a way that was very faithful to the original show. It was done very professionally in studios with professional production crew, professional actors, and really do it, not 3 guys in a camcorder in their garage kind of a thing. So the series launched then. It has won a number of awards. It's very highly regarded as a web-based version of Star Trek. And so I've had the opportunity to write for them. First episode that I wrote that is coming out, or actually has been released online, Mind Sifter. We're going to do a screening at the Michigan Theater on Thursday, the 22nd of January. And as part of that, we're encouraging folks to come dressed in Star Trek costumes. Mm-hmm. And if they do, that will prompt a donation from my business, Rick Chambers & Associates, to United Way to support energizing education.
And everyone either does or does not have a Star Trek costume.
That's right. Well, if someone kind of makes one up, we'll be kind of loosey-goosey on the judgment of that. So that's fine.
Do you get partial credit if he becomes a Star Wars character, or do you deduct from that?
That's where we have to get in the arm wrestling thing. Those are the 2 universes that don't cross, right?
Yes. So you just tipped off. You're not a Trekkie.
I'm a big Trekkie, actually.
Oh, are you really?
I love both of them, and sometimes I mingle the universes just to piss off my friends who don't like that stuff.
First time I looked at a clip, I was out of the corner of my eye, and I thought, well, it looks at first glance like the original 60s TV series.
I'll tell you, the first time I was out there for a shoot, which was a couple of summers ago, James Hawley said to me, they were doing a little bit of repair work on the bridge set, and he said to me, I don't want you to go out there until we're done with that, and we're doing a little painting and such, and he said, and I want to light it up for you so you can see it all lit up. And so I deliberately, as I walked around the sets, I would go like this. I don't look at the set until I finally walked in there, and it was the most amazing experience. I swear I walked onto the bridge of the Starship Enterprise. I mean, everything
Did you get goosebumps?
I did. It was, and Star Trek is something that encouraged me and inspired me as a writer as a kid.
Oh, really?
So to see that, to actually walk and then have the opportunity, and James invited me to sit in the chair, was just an absolute dream come true. So it was amazing, down to the details of the colors of the set, where the buttons are placed and what colors they are. All of the set pieces are absolutely faithful reproductions of what was used in the 60s.
And I believe you brought a clip.
I did, yes.
So awesome. take a look.
Excellent.
This is from Star Trek New Voyages, written and produced.
Teleplay by myself, and it's titled Mind Sifter.
Here it is.
The following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
Okay, let's do this.
Oh, Frank. Can't we just leave him? He'll come out when he's hungry. It's gonna be another fight.
I'm done cutting Superman breaks. This time I'm gonna bring his...
Got bruises from the last.
Gentlemen, let me.
Doctor, no you don't. He's dangerous.
He knows me. Stay here.
Are you hurt? I'm so worried. Why did you run away?
They took him.
It's okay. It's okay, but you can't stay here. Aren't you hungry? You haven't eaten in hours.
They took him.
Come on, let's get you out of here.
I thought I told you to wait outside.
Get away from me, you nut! You... Why didn't you call? He was pawing you.
He wasn't doing anything.
Yeah, right. These guys are all the same. Don't let him fool you. He's not so pretty now, is he? Report me, and the next time I won't be so gentle.
Space. The final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission: to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
You wrote that.
I did. I did the teleplay. It's actually based on a short story written by Shirley Mayuski, who he was called Grandma Trek. You saw the dedication at the beginning. That story was published in, I believe, 1976 in the first collection of Star Trek short stories ever put out. And I remember buying that book as a kid.
No kidding.
And being real excited. And that was the one story that stuck with me. So when Retro Films came and asked, would you be willing to do the teleplay on that, I couldn't say no.
Well, it looks well produced. It's just as professional as you would expect from a major
It's
motion picture.
Absolutely professional. The actors are professional actors. All the production crew are professionals, award-winning. They're just an amazing group of people, and they do it, they have such a love for Star Trek, and it really shows in the product.
It wasn't very true to the original, though. In the beginning scene, when the ship went by, you couldn't see the wires that were holding it up.
Yeah, right.
As it went by.
Isn't technology wonderful, right? Yeah.
Shouldn't there have been an additional phaser room on the Enterprise?
An additional phaser room?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was a lot of discussion about why they had a separate phaser room to begin with. So always it served the point of the story, I guess, is what it boils down to. So
It's a lot of vulnerabilities in the Enterprise.
there are quite a few. There was an article recently about that, where all the right places are to lob your photon torpedoes and such. So we Trek fans are just kind of, well, we'll pretend we didn't read that. So.
And everyone's going to be able to see this special episode at the Michigan World Premiere, and I think
Michigan Theater, Thursday, January 22nd, and we're going to have a special guest as part of this too. And you saw him very briefly in that clip. Brian Gross, who plays Captain James T. Kirk, is coming up from Los Angeles, and he will be here as part of the screening here. In fact, we're going to have him on your show next week.
Cool.
But we'll be there, and he and I will have a little Q&A panel afterwards for folks that are interested in knowing more about the show.
And this was the guy in the clip who was dragged into the room.
That's right. That's right. So without giving anything away, obviously we see Captain Kirk has been thrust back in time, and the story really revolves around what happens to him there and how his crew strives to get him back.
And it's going to be a fundraiser. You're providing this opportunity for the United Way to raise money for energizing education.
Absolutely. As a writer, I know the importance of writing. Or importance of reading and writing, but reading is so important, not only to success in school, but success in life. And so for me, as I thought about, I wanted to do something that benefited the community, not just had, a showing on the screen that people would come to, but do something more. Energizing education was an obvious fit for me. So.
I know, Ken, that you are very excited, as are all the people who have rolled out energizing education, but have you had the program in schools long enough to get feedback from families to hear how it's being accepted?
We have, and I think we need to release a evaluation report. We did it a couple months ago, but we never actually released it, and we need to. The evaluation report showed that not only were kids reading better, I mean, you can objectively test. They get tested every week or two while they're in the program, and you can just see their scores going up until they max out. But we also survey the teachers who are involved, and the teachers of 100% said, this is a great program for the kids, it's giving them the help I can't, thank you, I wish there were more of these. The volunteers, 100% have said, this is the most important and rewarding volunteer experience I've ever done, period. Almost all of them have come back for a second year of service. And the parents have said, my kid's reading more at home, my kid cares more about school. They're seeing behavioral changes that we didn't even anticipate as a result of the fact that the kids are getting more serious and feeling more comfortable in school, which kind of makes sense, but we didn't expect to see it that quickly. So we're surveying everybody involved, and so far the data is just incredibly positive. We couldn't be more excited about what we're seeing.
And it's fitting right into your mission.
Absolutely. I mean, I think ultimately our mission is going to focus more and more on family financial stability, that we know people need decent jobs, people need to make a decent living, and people are willing to work hard and strive for that American dream if they think it's within their reach. But that all starts with education. And if a kid doesn't learn to read by the 4th grade, they're at least 17 times more likely to wind up in prison than in college. And that's a stat that we can't afford to keep perpetuating. So this is a great way to put an end to the expansive prison growth we're seeing and to get people back on track in terms of becoming productive citizens.
And people can help by attending the movie event next week.
Love to see it, and wear a Star Trek costume or a Star Trek-like costume. We'll count that as well. So.
All right. And details: location, time, day.
The Michigan Theater, Thursday, January 22nd. Doors open at 7. The film will start at 7:30.
Yeah, big thanks to Steve Tucker for opening up the Michigan for us. He's been very excited about this too. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I believe he's a Trekkie too.
I think he must be. He's pretty excited.
We've had some good conversations, so absolutely. Yes.
Good. Well, great. I'm anxious to see the whole film, and I'll see you guys next week.
Great. Looking forward to it.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
From the United Way of Jackson County, the CEO, Ken Toll, and communications consultant and screenplay author, Rick Chambers.